There is no first day of school for slavery. No king who woke up one morning and invented it. But there is a moment, buried in clay tablets thousands of years old, where humans stopped just capturing each other in war and started writing down that one person could own another. Today we're digging into where that moment actually is. And the answer is older, weirder, and way more universal than you'd think. Here's the problem right away. You can't point to the first slave the way you can point to the first car or the first telephone. Slavery isn't an invention. It's a side effect. It shows up wherever three ingredients exist at the same time. 1. People have more food than they need to survive. 2. Some people have power over others. 3. War or debt creates losers who can be controlled. Mix those three together almost anywhere on Earth, and slavery tends to show up on its own. That's why historians don't talk about the invention of slavery. They talk about the oldest evidence of it. And that evidence points to one region. Welcome to Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, around 3,500 BCE. This is the cradle of writing, and almost as soon as humans could write anything down, they were writing about slaves. Sumerian cuneiform tablets use a symbol that combines person with foreign land. Translated literally, it basically means person brought from somewhere else. That's one of the earliest known words for slave, and it already assumes the person is property. By the time of the Code of Hammurabi, around 1750 BCE, slavery isn't new anymore. It's law. The code lists punishments for helping a slave escape. It lists prices for buying one. That means slavery had already existed long enough, and was common enough, to need a legal system around it. So 3500 BCE isn't really the start. It's just the oldest paperwork. Same story plays out in ancient Egypt. By the Old Kingdom, around 2600 BCE, enslaved people are already part of the economy. And here's a myth we need to kill right now. The pyramids were not built primarily by slaves. Most pyramid laborers were paid workers, fed and housed by the state. The actual enslaved people in Egypt mostly came from war, prisoners brought back from conflicts in Nubia and the Levant. Which brings us to the real pattern hiding underneath all of this. Before writing, before cities, before laws, anthropologists think the first form of slavery wasn't economic at all. It was a side effect of war between small tribal groups. Here's the logic. If you defeat a rival group, you have a choice. Kill the captives, or keep them. Keeping them means free labor, free reproduction. A bigger group. That decision, keep them instead of killing them, may be the actual root of slavery. And it likely happened thousands of years before anyone wrote anything down. We'll never find a date for it. There's no tablet, no fossil that says slavery started here. But the logic is so simple, and so consistently shows up across unconnected cultures, from Mesopotamia to Egypt to early societies in Africa, the Americas, and Asia, that most historians think it emerged independently, over and over, anywhere humans formed hierarchies. Let's lay out what we actually know. Prehistory captive taking after tribal warfare. Likely the true root, no hard evidence, 3500 BCE. First written evidence of slavery, Sumer, 2600 BCE. Clear slavery in Old Kingdom Egypt, 1750 BCE. Slavery codified into law under Hammurabi. So if someone asks you, when did slavery start? The honest answer is, there is no start date. There's only a start pattern. Slavery appears the moment a society has surplus, hierarchy, and conflict, all at once. That combination showed up independently, on different continents, thousands of years apart, with no contact between those societies. Which means this wasn't really about one bad king or one evil idea spreading. It was almost a predictable outcome of how early human societies organized themselves. That's the unsettling part of this question. We want slavery to have a villain, a starting point, someone to blame. But the real answer is that it grew out of ordinary human behavior, war, hierarchy, and the discovery that controlling other people could make you richer. And once any society discovered that, it rarely needed to be invented again. If you want the next part of this story, how slavery eventually started being challenged and which society abolished it first, let me know in the comments.